The drama is always going to be there, man. And if you've got professional sports teams, you go through it. You let players go. Coaches get fired. They take their pseudo shots out the door. They want their narrative out there. So I can't say that I'm shocked when I saw JB Bickerstaff's comments yesterday that seemed to be a perceived shot at Jarrett Allen, right? JB making comments about Luka fighting through injury. It goes back to Allen not getting those shots, and people in the organization were upset with him. We all just assumed it was players. Well, it's very clearly JB Bickerstaff. And it's so hard because I like JB. And I was a JB defender up until the end, until it was just no choice that I had to not be a JB defender anymore. So the fact that he wants to get his side out there today or yesterday, and it wasn't even like he did a tell-all podcast. Where the hell is Hugh Jackson's book, by the way?
So this is not even a debate, Matt. It's 100% a shot in your eyes.
That's a shot. You know, we used to do shot or not at a prior stop for me. That is very clearly a shot. You pour me up a little shot there, and I'll tell you, go ahead and take it. That was a shot that JB Bickerstaff. Do you know where the word shot comes from?
No.
I will tell you that in just a second. A little factoid for you about why shots are called shots. But we'll get to that.
Is it something about the amount of liquid?
No. Okay. No. Well, I guess it does in a way, but I'll tell you that in a second. But of course, JB, a little slight at his former team. He's angry. He feels like it wasn't his fault. He lost his job over it. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not the last time that is going to happen. It's certainly not the first time that has ever happened in this town. So we got some Cavs to dive into. I've got a brand new mock draft for the Cavs at 20. We'll get to that. Guardians, we got a problem. We got a problem. Okay? They got to do something with Tristan McKenzie. And I know that they had won a bunch of games that he didn't pitch well in yesterday. The fact that they came back as close as they tried to, you should have won that baseball game yesterday. You should have won that baseball game yesterday. You want to say it was meaningless runs at the end of the game? Sure, fine, whatever. But they got a problem. It just puts that onus even more on making that trade. We'll get to the Guardians coming up. I've got division rankings from NFL.com solely based on the quarterbacks. Who's number one? We'll tell you that coming up as well. We got our bracket, which is tied. We had a tie this morning in our initial Group 2, right, Ryan? Of the best golf course in Northeast Ohio. Both polls were close, but we had one that had a tie. So go vote on that at Matt Fontana's show. We'll get to the grid. We'll get to time up. Of course, today a very important day on Juneteenth and a very important day in Cleveland sports history. We'll get to all that right here on a Wednesday on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. History made. 8 years ago today, we win it, man.
Old, Matt.
Dude, I'll show you the video. Can I say, if I send you a video, can you pull it up quick?
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm going to send it to you right now. The video of my wife and I in downtown Cleveland. If it could be climbed, it was getting climbed. Generators, people were climbing lamp posts. Sorry, not that. I'm going to send you the video. I want you to pull it up here. Here. I'm going to text it to you. Here's one. Ryan. Do you feel nice that you're the first Ryan that shows up in my phone?
Nice.
I don't have many in there, but you still get it for me. There's 2 clips I'm sending to you right now. And we'll get to that. I want to do a deep dive back into history 8 years ago today when the Cavs won the championship, and of course we'll start Cavs. Do you know why they came up with the word shot?
No.
Okay, so way back in the day, in the Old West, a 6-shooter gun, a cartridge, a bullet.
I was going to say it had to be something with a gun.
Though a bullet cost 14 cents. A shot of whiskey also cost 14 cents.
Can we bring that back?
So when ranch hands were short on cash, they would walk in and trade a bullet for a shot of whiskey, and that's how they got a shot. I don't know why they didn't call it bullet, like a shot of the gun. That's probably how it goes. So the cartridges for the 6-shooters, the old Colts, cost 14 cents. And a pour of whiskey also cost 14 cents. So when a ranch hand comes in, he wants his beverage. He didn't have any money on him. They would trade him a shot. He would trade a shot for a shot. That's how the shot came up. So there you go. Little history for you on a Wednesday. Did JB take a shot yesterday? I think so. So I know the clip got sent around. I know Lima had it. A lot of people saw it as well. Great job on him, man. That's a good find on him.
Let me play it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to give credit here.
This is the guy that was taking shots.
Sorry,
All right.
go for it.
Okay, so here's JB. What's the podcast that he was on?
It's with Brian Scalabrine and Frank Isola, NBA
Okay.
Radio.
Okay, so JB's on there. He's out of his job.
Sirius XM.
Sirius XM, thank you. And obviously, he's out looking for a job, too. Like, that was the first thing that I thought of, right? Was like, is this really a good misnomer you want to send out to the rest of the NBA? But I want to preface it by saying this. He didn't sit down and directly say, like, Jarrett Allen didn't do this, or I can't stand Donovan Mitchell. It was a subtle one, but you know how he felt. So here he is.
It just so happened to be a rib injury for
Right.
Luka.
It's so much. So he's talking about Luka with his injury. Here's JB with Scalabrine and crew on Sirius XM.
Shots in his ribs so that he could go out and play, right? He was playing through pain. He wasn't complaining. He was still playing 40-plus minutes trying to go out and get it done. So give him the opportunity to learn from it. Now, if something happens multiple times, and, then I think you have the opportunity to critique. But if a guy in his first chance in the finals trying to carry a team, and be honest, his team was outmatched by the Boston Celtics and, still made it the challenge and still performed at a high level. Now, room for improvement, sure, but give the guy credit for the job that he did.
Like, that wasn't that outlandish. You know what I mean? That wasn't. He was talking about a rib injury. Now, again, we maybe fill the pieces in there on the Jarrett Allen. He didn't take the shot. People were upset by it. I get why Cavs fans want to jump on that. I'm here to tell you, Ryan, I didn't think it was that bad. And also, for JB, of course he's going to feel like it wasn't his fault. That's anybody in that situation would feel like it's not my fault. And he wants, I don't want to say his side of the narrative out there, because again, it's not like he sat down and was going to say, I'm going to do a tell-all thing here, and I'm going to get my story out there. Because I also don't see the purpose that it serves. What does that do for JB Bickerstaff? It doesn't get him his job back. Dan Gilbert didn't listen to that and go, you know what? Maybe we made a bad decision here. Maybe it was all Jarrett Allen's fault. But then we get to the Donovan Mitchell Instagram post. So this really got picked up. I think, A, by the clip from Lima, but then B, Donovan Mitchell puts a picture on his Instagram of he and Jarrett Allen embracing one another. This comes off the heels that Donovan has reportedly made it known that he wants Jarrett Allen here. Maybe that post was that. Maybe it wasn't. You and I were talking about it this morning. We got to remember that Donovan Mitchell was there. He was living this situation, right? He was in that locker room and saw how it was handled, either on Allen's part or the Cavs' part, how it was handled on JB's part. And maybe that did rub Jarrett Allen, or maybe that rubbed Donovan Mitchell the wrong way. I don't know. I wasn't there. So that support is good. That means that Donovan Mitchell has guys here he wants to play alongside. You know how I feel with Donovan Mitchell. I want him with a seat at the table to discuss some of these things. I don't think he should have the iron fist, this is what we're doing. But if you have a guy like Jarrett Allen, and jumping all over here, but I got to say this too. Is there a ironclad trade to be made right now? No, there's still a lot of negotiation that has to go on. So unless you are so far down this path of trading Jarrett Allen, which I doubt highly the Cavs are, you have this situation. He is a guy that would help Donovan Mitchell here, that Donovan wants here. Keep him. Keep him. Unless you're trading to get LeBron back, unless the Suns really want Jarrett Allen, they'll give you Kevin Durant. Don't make the trade. Don't make it. So if you want to sprinkle in this JB stuff, which again, like I got to tell you, Ryan, I don't think it's much of anything. Cavs fans jump on that because you take it as a slight. You know, we defend our teams. We defend our players. We're fans of these guys. You take that as a shot. You take it personally, right? You're doing a battle out there for Jarrett Allen. I don't think Jarrett Allen needs us fighting his battles for him. But don't get all riled up over it. That's kind of like, that's the thing. He took, again, a slighted shot. It was. But he was talking about Luka. If JB inserted something like, oh, you know, Luka took the shot, got out there with the ribs, unlike somebody else I know. If he said something like that, then maybe we're having a different conversation here. I think he was focused on Luka. said what he said, and maybe it was, I don't know, do you want to put the poll question out? Do you think he was taking a shot at Jarrett Allen?
Do you think this would have been taken maybe a little bit less of a shot if it didn't happen to also be a rib injury? You think that definitely threw the flame?
You're making those comparisons rightly so. I mean, that's the thing. It didn't talk about his, well, I thought it was a sternum thing. I thought it was thoracic or something like that. He didn't talk about Luka's knee injury. He didn't talk about anything else. Like, he was asked that question. He brought the rib thing up. And I get why people want to take it that way. The other thing is, it's over. Okay, it's over. And I would say the same thing to JB. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think Jarrett Allen was saving your job. And if you want to go another step further, Donovan Mitchell would have been the guy to save your job. Maybe you don't piss off the guy that he liked. And this is all water under the bridge. JB was gone already. He wasn't saying these things while he was still the head coach of the Cavs. And there's got to be a level as a coach of respect that you have to earn from your team. So if JB was really that mad that Jarrett Allen wasn't taking the shot, there is a balance of not calling your players out versus still commanding respect. We know plenty of coaches that came through here and they were walked over, man. They were trampled sometimes before they got their foot in the door. And that'll get you fired faster than anything. If you cannot walk into that room of professional athletes and command their respect, you are doomed. You've got nothing. Why do you think LeBron loved Ty Lue so much? I go back to that famous clip, right? They're sitting on the sidelines. LeBron's trying to tell Ty Lue something, and he whips around. He looks right at him, and he goes, I got this. And LeBron goes, all right. You got to have success. You got to win. But those are the type of things that you got to have. So the balance that JB maybe lost with the respect, and granted, it all fell apart. You weren't winning basketball games. That's what it comes back to. And then the reports that JB wasn't running the right sets and the offense that they didn't like. I don't understand it. I think it's a whole bunch of nothing, to be honest with you, about JB wants his, again, it's like, dude, I don't even think it was that bad. He's talking about Luka. He takes a veiled shot at Jarrett Allen. So what? Here's the thing. I wanted Jarrett Allen out there too. But if he couldn't play, he couldn't play. And you trust your players enough, and I can be extremely naive on this, Ryan, where I assume that most professional athletes, with the money that they make, if they can get out there and play, they're going to get out there and play. And if he felt like he couldn't, shot or not, then I don't know what else to tell you. I'm being naive. I'm putting the faith that I have in these guys.
It is an interesting dichotomy of the fact that Jarrett Allen, outside of the first week of the NBA season, was the most consistent player of the core four out there. Besides, like I said, that first week, he was playing in every single game while you had Donovan out with injury, you had Mobley out with injury, you had Darius out with injury. And I understand this was in a moment of the playoffs, and it does come off the heels of the year before he collapsed first the Knicks. So now it's like he has a double almost stigma against him and his playing in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't think it was that big of a deal either. It was about Luka. If you want to take it as a shot, then so be it.
I mean, the thing is, everybody likes to pile on to things like this because you want your pound of flesh. People that are angry about how the Cavs season went, you don't get that angry at Donovan Mitchell. You don't get that angry at Jarrett Allen. So now you can focus your anger on JB Bickerstaff. And that's part of what happened at the end of the season. Everybody just wanted to pile on him. And I'll tell you this, I'm sympathetic for JB. I know it wasn't all his fault. I also know he wasn't going to be the coach anymore. That's the big boy league, man. Coaches get fired because of their players more often than not. And especially in the NBA, that is a power-driven, a player-driven league who mostly have the power. I ain't crying over it. I feel bad for JB. I hope he gets another job. I think he will. He's pretty well respected around the NBA. And I would tell you this, I would be shocked. I would put good money on Tipico that JB Bickerstaff will be a head coach sometime else in the NBA. He'll get another crack at this. He will. He's a good coach. Didn't work out here. I'm sure he learned. What was he just saying about Luka learning? I'm sure JB learned a little bit about this and dealing with star players. The other thing, you got to talk about coaches that are good with star players. That's one of my biggest questions if James Borrego is really the guy. And I know Donovan Mitchell is not, but he is a star. There's no question on that. You want to debate about the level of where he's at compared to LeBron or Luka. He is a star player. One of the things that makes Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr and to a point Greg Popovich so good, they deal with stars. You know who did that better than anybody? Phil Jackson, and you want to show me about how Kobe and Shaq hated each other, he still got them to win a championship when they didn't want to talk to one another. It's one of the greatest things you could do as a coach. Go watch The Last Dance. Keeping Rodman in line, Pippen, Jordan. That is, X's and O's are great. There are guys that can handle stars. And you have one here. One. Maybe a future star in Evan Mobley, but that's more of the relationship, the personality of these guys. That's one of the things I think that makes Steve Kerr so good. He's had a litany of stars come through there. Outside of Draymond's antics, it's Jordan Poole's birthday, by the way, today.
Is it really?
It is. I swear to God, it is. So, like, outside of Draymond, but even then, I mean, pretty much kept him on the rails. He was in there playing. He got suspended for stuff on the court, but he was out there playing. That's something that I wonder a little bit about James Borrego. If it is, by the way, when the hell is that happening?
Did you happen to see Louis Riddick's potential leak?
No.
I believe it was Louis Riddick.
He's a football guy.
I know, but for some reason, I
Cross sport. I like that.
Let me see if I have to make sure it was him. But
Okay.
if it wasn't him, whatever, the case is the same. He was on, I believe, Get Up.
Okay.
And he said basically the Lakers are going to deal with a first-year coach in JJ Redick.
Yeah,
and people
no.
on Twitter get on it. Did he just leak that it's confirmed?
Well, I saw reports they're hiring him.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
was earlier in the day. But I
Oh,
think-
okay, sure. Yeah. Like, I believe this is probably, and that's good because I didn't want Borrego getting stolen away from us. If he's your guy, you make the hire and you kind of move on. Are the Cavs waiting for JJ to sign? Are they waiting for the money to see what to offer or something like that? I don't know. I mean, there's something weird about that, but it'll be Borrego, and how he deals with Donovan Mitchell is going to be a big part of that. Final thing for the Cavs to wrap up before we dive into some Guardians and some football as well. And then we are going to go back in history. Ryan and I are excited to do this. Probably, 20 minutes you want to do this? We're going to do a little early version of timeout because we know 8 years ago today, the Cavs won the championship. I sent Ryan some clips of what Euclid Avenue was like downtown, so we'll play that. But Ryan is also going to come up with some of the things, like what was the number one song in 2018? What was the hottest movie out? So we'll get to that. I'm excited for that. I've got an NBA mock draft out. 2-rounder, Jonathan Givony and Jeremy Woo on ESPN. So they actually have a little change here at number 1. They do not have Alex Sarr going 1.
Jay Williams, not Louis Riddick.
Not Louis Riddick, Jay Williams. Jay Williams makes a lot more sense on that. That makes a little more sense on that. Okay. They have that Richard guy, also from France. They go number 1. So that's an interesting flip because a lot of people had that Alex Sarr out of Australia. Reed Shepherd goes 3. Stephon Castle 4. 5 goes that Buzelius guy out of the G League. Dalton Connect goes 6. That's all right. That's my clip. It's going to be a good clip. I can't wait for that. Donovan Clingan goes 7, and we scroll on down to number 20. Do you want some good news for you, Ryan?
Is it not Zach Edey?
Zach Edey's off the board. He goes 15 to the Miami Heat. Furpy goes 18. And at 20 for the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Is it Tyler Smith?
no. Carlton Carrington, guard, Pittsburgh. A guard?
Just what we need.
And they're trading away Darius Garland, maybe. He is a shooting guard / point guard. Right up here. Carrington was not involved in the group of 21 players receiving an invite to the draft, but he can end up being one of the final 4 or so players to get the nod later this week. He's in the conversation for teams earlier than this pick. He's been visiting teams primarily in that 10 to 20 range, with franchises looking for point guards like Utah, Miami, and Orlando, especially being interesting landing spots. The week prior to the draft might see teams in different ranges travel to watch him in Dallas to prepare for the alternative contingencies, which include trade scenarios that could shake up the draft order. Carrington's upside stands out as one of the youngest players in the draft. He's not even 19 years old yet.
What school did he go to?
Pittsburgh. Pitt. He was able to carve out a significant role in the ACC, showing off his talent as a plus-size ball-handling guard who can shoot off the bounce and pass off a live dribble. He brings intensity defensively despite his lack of strength and high-end explosiveness. He is right at number 20 on ESPN's Top 100. He will need time and seasoning to be ready to play meaningful NBA minutes, but his youth, versatility, and feel for the game gives him a high ceiling in a draft, lacking somewhat in that department. Carlton Carrington out of Pitt. He is 6'4", $190, and 18 years old. Averaged 14 points per game, 5 assists there for Pitt. After Yves Missy, that center out of Baylor, who I'm a little intrigued by, to be honest with you, goes 21. Khalil Ware, that other center out of Indiana, goes 23. Kyle Filipowski goes 24. So imagine that. Cavs sitting at 20. You got 3 big men that I would all be interested in there, and they still go with a guard.
And it comes back to your point you said a week ago. Are you drafted for yourself or some other
Somebody
team?
Somebody else. These picks can't be traded until and then at that point you're talking about Wiggins and Ochai Agbaji. You're drafting them. They never once step foot in the city of Cleveland until they come here with another team. Like they're going straight somewhere else, and you flip it there. So you've got option, and I think also if that plays out that way for the Cavs, that could help them if they all right, we're going to take this guy knowing that there's a few other guys that we could trade for. There's a lot of Kobe Altman's play, but a guard over the big men is this mock draft here for Jonathan Givony and Jeremy Wu. Oh, my God. What are we going to do with Tristan McKenzie? What are we going to do?
I think you shut him down.
Is it his elbow? Has he lost the edge? And the hard thing is, if you just want to look at the nuts and bolts of it, Ryan, you go back to May 1st. He had 6 starts in the month of May. He's now had 3 starts in the month of June. You know how many games of those the Guardians have lost in 9 games? 2. That's it. But it seems like all of them have to be overcoming what he has done. In those wins, you've got an 8 run, a 5 run, a 13 run, a 6 run game. You've had to put up runs to overcome. Now, again, he's had solid starts. He had a 3 ERA in the month of May. I'm not trying to jump off the ship here and say we're screwed with Tristan McKenzie. I watched him last night. Bro, he had nothing. He had 4 walks.
In less than 3 innings.
Another home run. Am I wrong for sounding like I wonder where people are at with Tristan McKenzie. The other thing, you have no options. What are you going to do? You hope Gavin Williams is ready. Joey Cantillo's still coming off injury too. Like, what are you going to do? Espino's done. He's not around. It's not like you've got guys like your field, like your position players, right? If you had a pitcher to the level of John Kenzie Noel, if you had a pitcher to the level of Jonathan Rodriguez, I know he's back up, you would call these guys up tomorrow and say you're going to have to get some starts, and you put McKenzie on the IL with some phantom injury. Maybe there is something. Is he nibbling? I really think he's just lost it. I think he's lost his edge. 2 schools of thought. You sit him down and get him right, or you tell him, you got to keep going out there, man. You got to keep going out there. I'm selling the Mariners short. They're a good baseball team. We are a good baseball team. And if I really want to try to dive into some positives about yesterday, you did fight your way back in. That goes back to the Guardiacs that we talk so much about, right? Like, they are a team that doesn't quit. There's more, too, about Andres Gimenez, man. Like, he is batting .256 now. I saw something since the start of May, like he's below 400 on base percentage. Or no, not even that. It was like on base and slug. Something's not right with him. Something is way off with Andres Gimenez. He went hitless in 5 at-bats yesterday. Ramirez, here's the thing. Ramirez, Naylor, David Fry, Stephen Kwan did what they were supposed to do. You just didn't have it with your pitching. You got to maybe drop Jimenez down in the lineup now. I don't know. I try not to get freaked out about this team. These series are starting to piss me off, though.
It's easy to at a time overreact when you lose to a good team in the Mariners, which I think at this point they've proven they're a good team. It's easy to overreact when you lose to a good team, coming off the heels of directly dropping games and a series to a team you shouldn't have, that being the Blue Jays. You never want to see the losses stack up, but like you said, you got to give a little bit credit to the Mariners. But Tristan McKenzie, I don't know if it's the injury, if, like you said, lost his edge. I like to think it's the injury because I think the biggest problems is his command.
Mike tweets, it's got to be the injuries, guys. And it's not his effort. I get why he's trying to avoid another 12-month layoff.
I think if that's the point we're at, you have to consider shutting him down. Not only just for this year, but for his career longevity.
Well, and that's what Mike says. He goes, Matt, I disagree with you. I don't think he's lost his edge. I think something's wrong with him. Something's wrong. Are we, dude, do you want to get to Danny Salazar level when he was doing exploratory surgeries because they didn't know what was wrong with him?
No.
Oh, my God. That time. And the thing is, I see no relief at this point. And you had to burn your bullpen yesterday. You had to pitch, and again, it was Barlow, and Hunter Gaddis still had to pitch, and I'm assuming some of those guys will still be available today. But, like, the onus now and the pressure that you now put for the game tonight, is it Lively on the hill tonight? No, Tanner Bybee. Okay, great. Thank God it's Tanner. Bro, you have got to pitch me to 7 innings tonight. This has got to be an easy 7 innings for you. Turn it over to Gaddis and right to Clase, even though Gaddis pitched last night. Like, you had to fry your bullpen. And I know you had the off day. That's what's even bothering me more than anything. It's not, the runs given up, okay, fine, overcome that the best that you can. I'm talking about you can't even get length out of these guys anymore. And I don't know what you do. You know what? I take that back. I know what you do, and you go make a damn trade. Do you read into Manzardo getting sent back down to something for the trade? That he came up, he looked fine. He looked like he can handle it.
As in they would trade Manzardo?
Yes.
No.
No? You don't think so?
No.
Trying to get, I had a lot of people tell me he just needs more at-bats. He needs more consistent at-bats. I kind of argue, why can't you get him consistent bats up here? I like Schneemann. I like Fry, but
why don't they play him at first base?
I got that yesterday, and you're 1,000%. Stop putting Josh Naylor at first.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you want to know why they're not going to do that? Josh Naylor doesn't want to do that. Josh Naylor's a baseball player where he feels like it's going to throw him off if he just becomes a DH. There's a rhythm that they get into. I think it's a little sign of, like, honor and respect that you're out there playing. He's an okay glove at first. He ain't no Gold Glover over there. He's made mistakes. Don't get me started on his brother. That's another one. Why can't he catch the ball anymore? Seriously. And again, I could pick apart little pieces of that game that went wrong. Passed balls again? Come on now. But you would say you just DH Naylor. That is, okay, you know what that is? That's a direct shot, like, you're over the hill. Who DHs? Edgar Martinez and guys in their 30s, right? Josh Naylor doesn't want to do that.
I mean, I get that he doesn't want to do it, and if it really is going to throw him off, then you maybe not, because you need Josh Naylor to be on.
Oh, yeah, any
stretch of the imagination of doing anything in the postseason. But at the end of the day, you tell Josh the same thing, dude. Like, you're a good enough hitter to where we trust you to just DH, and meanwhile, we need Manzardo to maybe get these reps at first base and get him going in that groove. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess. I mean,
you got to pick your poison at that point.
You do, and those are tough decisions that are on Stephen Vogt. He wants to play his guys. You want to push Fry for the All-Star game, but there's only so many at-bats to go around. Get back at it tonight. We'll get our boost up on Typico coming up in a little bit. Bybee on the hill. Brian Wu, man. He's got a 1 ERA. Now, he's limited. He's only had 3 wins on the year, but still, you're going to have a battle tonight with Wu and Bybee on the hill. Over under 7.5. I think I like the under tonight. I think 2 good starting pitchers. Maybe you got a lot of runs put up. Plus, dude, it's humid. It's hot. The ball's going to fly. The wind tunnel that's going on. I'm thinking the under tonight. But we'll get to our play. By the way, shout out to you Guardians fans. 23,000 there last night. Well done. Getting out there and enjoying. Flipping over to some football. Thought this was interesting this morning from NFL.com. Eric Edholm ranked all 8 divisions by their quarterbacks alone. Not strength of schedule, not offensive line, nothing but the quarterbacks. I want to see if Ryan can kind of scroll through this for the best divisions in football when it comes to the quarterbacks. You should not have an issue with number 1.
It's got to be the North.
Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson / Justin Fields. He writes, on name value alone, this division packs a serious punch. Lamar coming off his 2nd MVP, Burrow with a tied league-high $55 million per year, has guided Cincy to a pair of AFC championship games when healthy. Watson boasts a contract with the most guaranteed money in league history. Wilson's a 9-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion. Fields, a 25-year-old first-round pick. Pound for pound, top to bottom, there's nothing like the North crop, hence the division receiving the top billing on this list. Even with some losses on offense in Baltimore, Jackson should be fine, fresh off a brilliant campaign. I try to crap on Lamar Jackson every year and talk myself into every year he's not going to have the weapons that he needs, and here comes your down year, and all he does is says, shut the fuck up, Matt. You don't know what you're talking about. Lamar is special. Both Burrow and Watson are working back from season-ending injuries. The Browns no longer have the Joe Flacco safety net, and Wilson has been in a slow decline, only with Fields having modest gains. This group ranks first high, firmly because of the floors of Jackson and Burrow when healthy, and the potential for the Browns and the Steelers to improve their quarterback play from a year ago. So very clearly, number one, Browns, we're the best division in football. We are the best quarterback division in football. I think you can make the case we're the best defensive division in football. You just mark all that off. Any way you want to slice that pie, 2 of the top 4 pass rushers in the game are in this division, in TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. You want to put Mike in there, you want to go Max Crosby, you want to go Nick Bosa, however you want to cut that. 2 of the 4 are here, let alone the rest of the division. So it's the best division, best quarterback division. All right, now this is where it gets a little interesting.
Yeah.
Who do you think, Eric Edholm, has the second best quarterback division in football?
Yeah, this is where it gets tough because you have a litany of good quarterbacks, but then a lot of these divisions, you either have a rookie or you have a just scrub. But I'm going to go with, he said the second best was the AFC East. So then was it the NFC West?
That is correct. Well done.
I was between those two.
On that.
I
You're
was
right.
between those two.
He said the NFC West. Kyler Murray, again, coming off injury. Matt Stafford,
Brock
Purdy, and then Geno. I don't know why he put Sam Howell on this as like a slash with Geno Smith. But he said all 4 starters are established. But he said I listed Howell, who was a 17-game starter. Geno's 2022 campaign was a career changer, but a new offensive system. Stafford hinted in recent years he might be close to the end. But tell me that you can't sleep on that Rams team.
Yeah.
Puka and Cooper and
Not with
McVay.
Sean.
That's the other thing, man. They're going to have to do it without Aaron Donald, which I think is a shock. Purdy and Eric Wright's is a fantastic debate. Some argue he's overrated. Some say he's a product of the system, which I do tend to believe. But you can't deny his success and what he's been able to do. And Kyler Murray. I mean,
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. I mean, he could be amazing coming off the ACL. I mean, the ACL is not that career ender like it was years ago, but he still wants to run around. And I just think Marvin Harrison is that kind of guy. He's like, okay, this is an unfair comparison, but it is what it is. It's like Mike Evans to Johnny Manziel. He's down there somewhere. I'll chuck it up and he'll go catch it. Like that might be Marvin Harrison there for the Cardinals. But again, they do have other weapons there and they have some things going there. Is that Gannon? Jonathan Gannon's there, is he not?
In Arizona?
Yeah, the head coach. Yeah. Okay, defensive guy, we'll see. All right, number 3. So again, the top 2 quarterback list. AFC North, NFC West. Number 3.
How about this real quick, though, Matt?
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons have dismissed Monty Williams
What?
after 1 year, who leaves with
What?
5 years, $65 million plus left on his deal.
Holy cow. What?
I mean, I remember when that deal came out, we were looking at it.
Everybody goes, what is
and
that?
I tweeted, I remember, I said, they're paying Monty
my.
Williams like $10 million for a win.
They're firing him with $60 million left on his deal?
New president, Trajan Langdon.
Langdon.
Will move
Tragic
to make his own
Langdon,
catch.
former Cavalier. What do you mean, Trajan Langdon?
I don't know who
He
that is.
just got that job.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Sign Borrego now. I don't know anybody that would willingly go coach the Detroit Pistons right now, but do not mess this up. Go sign James Borrego. How do you dismiss him with $60 million?
Isn't that unbelievable?
That is insane.
That's got to be one of the worst coaching deals ever.
And especially for the fact of where do you think you're going? You might as well let him just coach this year. Okay, the sports talk question. Would you bring Monty Williams in here?
No.
You might be able to get him on a steal. He's got a bag right now.
No.
No?
No, it's not about money. Nothing about coaching.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Great movie.
It's like Dark Knight thing. What?
When he burns it all.
Somebody just had a great...
We'll see how hungry a loyal dog really is.
Somebody just had an amazing gif with that. Oh, I think it was something about, like, it was either, not Marvel, but like DC or Netflix or something. They're like, we spent all this money to create this TV show that nobody watched. And they go, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. $60 million to tell him to go away.
Woo!
What the hell are the... Could you imagine Trajan Langdon having to sit down with ownership and go, yeah, I got to make this move? How does ownership not tell him, like, no, you just hired him. You brought him in to fix your team. You need to give him full autonomy here. He's got to make the call. Wow. I mean, I've seen some doozies with the Browns. Trust me. 60 million. Whew.
65.
Again, for a team that, like, you might as well just have me coach the Pistons. Why don't you just keep Monty Williams around?
Yeah. You could pay me $100,000.
I'll take less. Ryan and I will do a combo. $500,000 for the two of us. We'll do a combo deal for you. Good job, Cade. Is Jay Ivey there?
Yes.
Jay Ivey. Love you, man. Go work. Go do some laps. Like Coach Klein from the Waterboy. Special teams, just go do some laps. $65 million to go away. Good gig if you can get one. All right, back to the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Number 1, AFC North. Number 2, NFC West. Number 3.
So did he put the AFC East here?
No.
Okay. Then is it the AFC South?
No.
Damn. See, this is where, like, you can make the argument for, okay, then it's got to be. See, here's the thing, because I could go to, you have great quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, but then you're held back. Like, so
it's not them.
So then, but then I could go to the NFC North, and then it's 2 rookies.
Which I am floored that it's not higher. It's not the NFC North
because
either.
that's 2 rookies. But then you
What's
go
left?
to, then what, the AFC West?
That's correct.
But then you have Pat, and
Right.
then you have
That-
Pat, and then Scrubs and Herbert.
Both of the 2 other
That's what
teams
I'm
have a
saying.
slash. It's Bo
Aiden
Nix or
O'Connell and
Jarrett
Bo
Stidham,
Nix.
and then Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew.
And then
between
Herbert
Mahomes
and
and Herbert.
I guess then Mahomes is just carry.
Here's Eric's write-up. The division is tricky to rate because it features 2 established stars. And trust me, I like Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert, but you can't say that.
How do you take that over the AFC East, Matt? Even with Jacoby Brissett and Drake May in New England.
I would agree. Number 4, AFC East. Allen, Tua, Jacoby Brissett, Aaron Rodgers.
How do you take that
I
over
don't know.
C.J.
I
Stroud,
don't
Trevor
know.
Lawrence, Anthony Richardson,
It just has.
and Will Levis?
He said any division with Mahomes surely deserves a bump.
All right,
That's
whatever.
Mahomes' drunkenness, biasness. That's what that is. And he said it's hard to imagine that Herbert isn't in better hands now with Jim Harbaugh. The bar was down here, man. Okay, it's gonna be better, yes. And I'm a Justin Herbert apologist over here, but I don't know if I buy that. Then number 4 is the AFC East. He said this division has a little bit of everything. A surefire Hall of Famer. That ain't playing to his Hall of Fame level, I'll tell you that. Superstar in Allen. Vet without the long-term deal in Tua. And a bridge guy with Brissett with Drake May as a possible future. Number 5, the NFC East. Dak, Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels / Marcus Mariota. Number 6, NFC North, which is one that I could have seen up at 3, to be honest with you.
Especially because they're glazing over Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Darnold / McCarthy. I would put money on Jordan Love to win the MVP this year. I'm not even kidding.
I know. I like that.
I'm not even kidding. 7 has got to be the AFC South. Again, Stroud,
Lawrence, Anthony Richardson. I know we didn't get to really see his rookie year, but
and
he's
Will
gonna be good.
Levis.
And Will Levis, who is you can't tell yet.
And then, of course, there was no ever question the bottom feeder, and this is the NFC South. Cousins, Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. Trash.
I disagree. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
No. I've seen clips of it. I know the clip.
Spamming movie quotes today.
Yeah, I'm all for that on a good Wednesday here. I've seen the part where he goes, "This is how I win, KG.
This is how I win."
This is how I need to watch that.
It's
all
right.
It's all right. Yeah. I because I think it's sports betting. Like there's sports movies I haven't seen, but it sounds pretty good. So again, full write up here from Eric at home. Best quarterback divisions in football. Number 1, NFC North. And then the NFC West, AFC West, AFC East, NFC East, NFC North, AFC South, and then the NFC South. The biggest thing that you look at with this is, of the top 4, 3 of them are in the AFC. And that kind of comes back to something we've discussed with the Browns for a little while now, is like, you finally get into a stretch here where you're going to be playing competitive football, and the AFC has never been tougher. I don't even know in my life if I've ever seen the AFC, let alone the AFC North, be this stacked. And you got to go through that if you just even want to play. Here's the crazy thing. Of all these teams, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Chiefs, Chargers, Texans, Colts, Jacksonville. 3 of those teams are not making the playoffs. Just on that. Screw the Titans. Screw the Patriots. The Raiders aren't good. Think about that. Of the guys that you would say have elite quarterbacks, most of them do. Somebody's not making it. They ain't taking 3 from every division. Like, that's the fight that is now on for the Browns right now. But I do think it's rightly that they're number 1. Again, I think that NFC North being at 6 is a little slept on there.
I totally agree.
Okay, who's the most overrated quarterback division that we just ran through? Is it the AFC East because of Rodgers? Is it the AFC West because it is just Mahomes?
Yes. And then AFC East, I would say.
I mean, I could make a case that it's the NFC West who is at 2.
2 is
even when
two is a
Kyler's
heavy
on,
spot.
like I know that there was that point that they were like what 7-1 or 9-1 that one
they
year.
were 10-0.
10-0. That's there you go. Purdy, okay. I feel bad because I can't shake that Geno Smith journeyman idea that I have with him. And I'm not giving him his flowers and his due credit on that. But there is no question the Browns are very clear. You know, the division with the Browns, they're very clearly number 1. So at least you got that right. I think there's some other ones that we can look at. Out of the NBA, Pascal Siakam, 4-year, $190 million to stay with the Pacers.
A lot of money.
Yeah, you don't trade for him and not keep him around, right? You got to do that. I mean, the other thing, so I was running through the NBA real quick before we go back in history, talking a little bit with the Cavs title and all that kind of stuff. But I look at it and I say, of all the money, you know, I see the free agent primers. Like, you remember Isaiah Hartenstein? He used to play for the Cavs. He was a prime. I saw this on ESPN. They project him to get a 2-year, $50 million deal. $25 million for Isaiah Hartenstein? Good for him, man. I think more about that Jarrett Allen deal. And how just in the NBA more than anything, that's where you get paid, is when you hit that free agency. There's so many guys that want to get to unrestricted free agency. I know the aprons and the new CBA kind of put a damper on some of that, but the money that's getting thrown around when you get out there, and you don't have to do that for the Cavs.
Would you consider Monty Williams? I don't think I would.
Okay, so here's what I don't. Okay, when he was in Phoenix, everybody said he was like the best coach in the NBA.
Yeah, took him to the finals.
I know that, and that's like again, you look at the players that he had. He coached the Pelicans for the 5 years, Thunder associate, 76ers assistant, Suns, Pistons for a year. I don't know, man. I mean, I tell you what. Do you call?
An interview can't hurt,
That's what
I
I'm
guess.
saying. It can't hurt. I might call him.
You got his number?
No, I don't. But I'm assuming Kobe Altman does. Here's his track record. New Orleans, lost in the first round, 3 straight years of missed playoffs, lost in the first round. Got to Phoenix, missed the playoffs, lost in the finals, 2 straight years of losing in the conference semifinals. He leaves, he goes to Detroit. They went 14-68 this past season. I'd call. I mean, here, like,
I'd call.
Like, to be honest, too, like, you could probably get him on a deal. Here's the thing. Does Monty Williams want to jump right back in? Because think about that. That has to be some kind of record. If he signed on with the Cavs, that would be 3 straight years of coaching a different team. And I'm talking about full, not in a row.
It's you could
like,
look at both sides.
That's got to be a record.
It could also be a quick way to write your name and prove, you know what, that team's just garbage.
But if I'm Monty Williams, I got 60 in the bank now.
Go to
I'll
Ibiza,
take a
chill
year
for
off.
year.
I ain't going anywhere. And you know that next off season, there will always be 3 to 4 jobs that open up, and maybe you got your pick of the litter there. Or do you want to jump right back in? They could call Monty Williams, and he goes, you know what? I appreciate your interest. I'm good. I'm going to go chill for a little while. Budenholzer did that, you know. Maybe that's where he's at. I'd still call. You want to put that as a poll question? James Borrego or Monty Williams? If the money is the same, imagine that the money is, and I know Dan Gilbert's not shy of writing checks over there. That's no big deal for him cutting checks. But if you just had to pick on just like basketball, your vibe on it, would you rather have Monty or James Borrego? I got to tell you, I'm thinking about this more than I thought I would.
I'm not.
Because I was so, so in on Borrego, and I still am. I'm intrigued. I'm a little intrigued to see. Whoa. That decision was made at ownership level. It wasn't even Trajan Langdon. Oh, he pissed somebody off. Oh, boy, who did he piss off? Sources tell Adrian Wojnarowski that Monty Williams was fired and that decision was made at ownership level. Williams, a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, was lured to Detroit on a massive 6-year deal after leaving the Suns. He initially had planned to sit out a season while dealing with his wife's cancer diagnosis, but he took on the Pistons rebuild. How about that? He wasn't even going to coach. You give him all the money, he comes in, and you still tell him to hit the road. Oh man. Ben Axelrod, shout out to Ben. Considering the contract, this might actually be even worse than when the Cavs hired John Beilein. Man. I think I'm making a phone call. I think I'm making the phone call there.
I'm not using any of my minutes.
Oh, you're not even old enough to go back to that, bro. You're not even old enough to remember getting the cards. You don't even know about the CDs of online hours. You used to go to the pharmacy, and they used to have an AOL 1,000 hours CD, and you put it in. You don't even know.
No, I don't. You're right.
Text messages were 10 cents a piece. Parents getting the phone bill, go, what are you doing? Internet. Because that's, again, now, it's just internet. Bro, that went on your phone bill because you were on the phone. Grandma calls, kicks you offline. You don't even know. Do you even know what the internet dial-up sounds like?
Like the modem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know what that sounds like? All right. Putting minutes on my phone. You don't even remember. You don't even know, bro. God, times were simpler.
What was that, back like 2016?
I got my first cell phone in 2003. 2003. Wow. You had, again, it was like a little Nokia, and every month you had to put minutes onto your phone. It wasn't even a dollar amount. You had to put X number of minutes on your phone. I don't even think I could text on that phone. You know what I missed? Did you ever do T9? Do you ever text with just the phone, just the numbers?
No.
My generation, just so I was faster with T9. It was so good. Putting minutes on my phone to call Monty Williams. Hey, Monty, it's Kobe Altman. Are you on a dial-up right now? Yeah, sorry, bad connection here. James Borrego, Monty Williams, pick one right now. Go.
Borrego.
All right.
Honestly, it's not even.
I think that's probably the answer. I think I'm a little sucked into it just because it's the new news here. So Danny, shout out to Danny Cunningham, friend of mine. I think it's at least worth noting that the Pistons just hired Trajan Langdon, Cavs legend, from the Pelicans. Where was James Borrego? Pelicans. And also, Lyman jumps in too. Langdon has a connection with Kenny Atkinson too. If they steal James Borrego from us, I'm gonna be. I was worried about the Lakers stealing him. Now I'm worried about the Pistons.
No way he's going to Detroit, dude.
About the Lakers stealing.
That's not happening.
I'm gonna be pissed. I'd at least call. I don't know if I'm hiring Monty Williams, but I would call. That dude.
Don't get worked up.
I'm just telling you, if they take James Borrego away from us,
They're not.
all right, I hope so.
Why would he go there over the Cavs? Why can't
money?
Dan will pay him that money.
I'm sure he would, but everybody's got a price. And also, you then go somewhere with a guy that you know. He would have a lot more connection with Trajan Langdon. I think it's interesting that ownership made this move on Monty Williams, like Trajan Langdon didn't. But there's, like, Ryan, if you all of a sudden got a new media outlet and you called me and you said, hey, I want you to come here, I'm like, well, I'm going to feel comfortable with that. I know you. You know me. There's a relationship there. Now, that gets dicey because if it ever came to a point that you needed to fire me, then that gets awkward of like, dude, we're friends. Like, what happened? Whatever. But at least you start with that base. It doesn't change anything. Whoever gets that Pistons job, if it is Borrego, you got 2 years to make the playoffs. You got 2 years to try to turn this around. You've already got some high draft picks on that team. You feel like you should turn it around quick. So friendships, I guess, be damned. But still, bro, I think that would be strong to go somewhere that has not familiarity, but familiarity with the guy that's calling the shots, pseudo calling the shots. What do you think that says that they made this move over Trajan Langdon? Like, they're like, hey, man, we know you just got this job, but we're going to supersede you on this whole thing.
Well, I guess it'll come out if he did
And I
something.
could see, like, the Cavs have done that. The Cavs, I mean, I'm going to say directly, but, like, Dan Gilbert's overseen things before. And you leave Kobe Altman to make the... Dude, James Borrego doesn't owe anything to Kobe Altman at all. They don't owe each other anything. But, man, if that happens... I'm not going to be happy about it. All right, you know what I was happy about was 8 years ago today, the Cavs win the championship. Have you got some of the things lined up?
Yeah, do you want to do that or the videos
Let's
first?
do the video. So this is my own video. No jokes. Let me tell you a quick backstory. So we all know that Sunday, Father's Day, my wife and I lived downtown. We lived in the, oh my God, I can't even remember the name anymore. Where does the time go? Oh, the Rosetta Lofts, like not Rosetta Stone, but the Rosetta Lofts. So you know where the Holiday Inn Express is on Euclid? Right there over by Corner Alley and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Our apartments were the top level. So just to give you a piece. So they win. My brother's over. We're jumping. We're excited. We instantly go downstairs, and this was what was happening on Euclid Avenue 8 years ago tonight. A little dark. Can you see it all right?
Oh, yeah. I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I know. I lost my big play scroll in the background. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, it's all good. People were climbing stuff. The sea of people. All and I'll tell you this, man. I didn't see anybody get into a fight. I didn't see anybody. You got the other one, too?
See it again.
All right. People are on top of generators. They're climbing the street lights. They were hanging off of it. And I tell you, man, nobody was an a-hole. Everybody was just so happy to be there. What a time, man. Oh, my God. It was so much fun.
Simpler times.
And then the parade. The parade is, I've never seen anything like the parade. I'll tell that story forever. I'll do that in the day of the parade. But we go down there, and again, it was just joy. People were high-fiving one another. You didn't even know who they were. COVID wasn't a thing yet. I mean, people were just living life, man. It was so much fun. So you looked some things up to go back to 2018.
16.
Dude, where am I at? 2016. Wow, 8 years ago today. And you brought up some of the things that were in or at the time. I'm excited to do this. Go ahead.
I got him already. We'll start. Man, 2016, what a time. If you think about
let me
it.
set up where I'm at in life.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I am. My wife and I were not even engaged yet. We were living in our apartment downtown. This was June. We didn't even have our dog yet. Our dog, Alvin, we didn't get him until August. So obviously I'm 30. I was 26 doing the morning show over there at KNR. And I'm trying to think, man, that was pretty much it where we're at in life. My wife had a job downtown. So I loved living downtown. We both worked downtown. I had a Toyota Corolla was my car. I loved that car. And we were hanging out downtown. That's kind of where my life. Ryan, where were you in 2016?
I was 15.
High school?
I was 15, so I think I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, my God.
I probably was about to just get my license soon. I remember the game. I was watching at my friend's house. Luckily, I could just walk over to his place because I couldn't drive yet, as I mentioned. It's just nuts to think about. I had probably way too much hair on my head. I looked horrible.
Everybody got to go mop.
I was a lot fatter and shorter.
That's okay.
And I was
When did you hit your growth spurt?
probably like a year after that.
Oh, okay.
And I
See,
was just
I was
living
done-
life as a dumb 15-year-old.
I was weird. I was done growing by my sophomore year. I was 6'2" my sophomore year. Didn't gain another inch. That was it. I never got any taller after my sophomore year.
Angela, I'm 23. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's run through this. So Ryan has pulled up things that were happening in 2016 while the Cavs were in the championship.
All right, well, we'll start with some easier ones.
Okay.
Get you back to the feeling of
Yeah.
2016.
Put me in that era.
All right. I want you to tell me in 2016 who won the Super Bowl, who won the World Series, that one's easy, and the
Yes.
Stanley Cup.
Okay, the Cubs. Did the Lightning win the Stanley Cup?
No.
Okay. Boston?
No.
Okay. Were they in the finals?
I don't know who's in the final.
Okay,
I don't know
all
who
right.
they beat.
All right, Super Bowl 2016. I get it. That wasn't the Broncos Seahawks beatdown. Was that? No, that wasn't the Falcons debacle.
It was the Broncos.
It was the Broncos.
Yep.
Okay, it was the Broncos when they beat the Seahawks. Okay. Stanley Cup. I don't know.
The Pittsburgh
Oh,
Penguins.
all right.
Sydney.
All right. Probably a good guess on that. Okay. All right.
This one's a little bit tricky. 2016, Matt, can you tell me the highest grossing film of that year?
Oh, my God.
I'll give you this because this film is a part of a legendary franchise.
Fast and the Furious.
No. A way bigger franchise than that.
Oh, Marvel.
No, but to the
Okay.
level of Marvel
Okay.
in terms of popularity.
Huh. Star Wars?
Yes.
2016, I don't want to say that was The Force Awakens. Was that The Last Jedi?
I believe this one came after.
Both of those?
I believe.
Oh, so this is the third one. The Rise of Skywalker?
Or maybe this one didn't. I don't know. It wasn't part of the trilogies.
Really?
It was like one of those
Rogue
offshoot-
One?
Yes.
Was it Rogue One?
Yes,
What-
which
Rogue
is
One
what to-
was 8 years ago? I thought it, oh my God.
Which
I
to
didn't
me
think-
was one of the best Star Wars
Well, that
movies.
that one was great because it told you how they stole the plans for the Death Star.
That was so
That is
sick.
one of
That
the
was
best
so
things about
sick.
Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big Star Wars person by any stretch of the imagination. I respect it, but it's like the fact that they created. Did you ever think George Lucas, when he came up with the first
No.
Star Wars in 1977,
No way.
thought that people would get so invested that they would create backstories for the bartender in the cabana when
Yeah.
when Luke and Han meet each other. Like every single freaking character, people cosplay as them. Oh, Family Guy.
Yeah.
Play that same song. All right, dude. By the way,
When he's trying to get the couch out and he takes him
That-
like a million years, he's like, flip it.
there
flip it.
is nothing better that Family Guy ever did than their parodies of the Star Wars movies. And the fact that they did it in an hour, probably less with commercials, in 40 minutes and pretty much succinctly said the movies and did it. That is my favorite thing that Family Guy had ever done.
Yeah.
You got to twist. That's a nice couch. I'm taking this couch.
Yeah.
People just throw this stuff away. Oh my! And then the characters, Meg is always like the thing that goes after. The other funny one is when they have the awkward staring when they look at one another, and they look at one another, and they look at one another, and it's just the long, like the little idiosyncrasies of the Star Wars movies that they make fun of in those Family Guy ones. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Alrighty.
It's so funny.
Sticking with movies, can you
Okay.
tell me 2016 which film won Best Picture at the Oscars?
Oh boy! All right.
This is I'll tell you this, and I don't think this would help you, and you would know it. This is one of my top 5 movies all time.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
As a guy who was an aspiring journalist, this was one of my favorite movies ever.
Was it the one that they exposed all that stuff?
In the church,
Yeah,
Yes.
that
With
one.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
Michael Keaton.
Was Robert Downey Jr. in that one?
I don't. Oh,
He was in the other one, wasn't he?
I know it was Mark Ruffalo.
What's the
Michael
name of the
Keaton,
movie?
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams,
Yes,
Lee
that's it,
Schreiber,
Rachel McAdams.
Stanley Tucci. There was the other journalistic one that had Robert Downey Jr. No, but yeah, Spotlight. Okay.
He was a journalist in I think in or was he a cop in?
Oppenheimer?
No, in Zodiac.
Oh, yeah. That's another damn good film. Another good one there. But all right, okay.
Have
Okay.
you seen Spotlight?
No.
Oh my God.
No of it, but I haven't seen it.
All right, can you give me this is gonna be hard. Give me any of the 5 most popular TV shows from 2016.
Oh my God. Okay. Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Okay.
That's number 2. Wow.
Was Modern Family?
Yes, that's 5.
Okay. All right. Was
Wow.
that something that was going there? I don't think Young Sheldon had taken off yet. So
No,
I'm
that
not.
wasn't even a thing
Yeah,
yet.
it wasn't even a thing yet. Were any of these a reality show? No.
No.
They're all scripted, kind of like sitcom. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Parks and Rec was done. The Office was pretty done.
None of the remaining are comedy.
Okay. I don't think Succession, The Wire, no. Veep?
No, but that won Best Emmy, I think, at the Emmys. Best.
Okay, in 2016. Oh, are they all on cable or are they like Netflix? Or are
Yeah,
they?
cable.
They're all on cable. Okay. Oh man.
The number 1 show you definitely know.
Oh, it was not Big Bang Theory.
No, Big Bang's 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
This one you definitely know.
Oh, yeah, I
a
have.
long-running TV show. I'm pretty sure with multiple spinoffs.
Walking Dead.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
And then
That was pretty.
Yeah.
Off of that, Sons of Anarchy.
That's a good guess.
Good
No.
guess. No.
I'm not sure you're gonna get these.
Okay, just lay them out for me.
Number 3, This Is Us.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten
NBC,
it.
and
Yeah.
number 4, Empire.
Okay,
And
yeah. All right, yeah.
That was on Fox.
Man, dude, does that not seem forever ago? From the best TV shows. I love it.
I'm trying to see. They got video games on here.
I was wondering about me if you had any music.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I can find.
You want
music.
to? I'm gonna have no guess. I just want you to bring them up just as an interest. So again, we're going back to 2016 when the Cavs won the championship.
Do you know the most popular song?
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
It's by Bieber.
Oh, it was. What? I don't know.
Love Yourself.
Okay, I'm surprised it wasn't like Ed Sheeran or something like that.
Popular gifts for kids included Pie Face Showdown, Hatchimals, Star Wars toys, the Disney Princess carriage.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't know what any of those are.
Yeah, no. You know the new thing with all the kids? Squishmallows.
Yes.
Squishmallows are big. We walked through Costco the other day. They had a giant display. We had to take our 3-year-old like, no. He calls them his lovey. So he goes, Dad, lovey. And I go, those aren't yours, buddy. And he goes, well, I want one. And I was like, there's no Paw Patrol in there. I had to scoot him away from that. He's already got 4. Dude, my kid sleeps with 4 different stuffed animals. I every night I put him in bed, I go, just please, God, wake up. Like, I just don't want him, like, put him off. And one of them is massive. One of them is massive, but he's got to go to bed with him. He's got
How many
4
of
different-
the top 10 or this is 21 biggest pop music artists in 2016?
Okay. Bieber,
Number 3.
Ariana Grande.
Number 12.
Okay. Nicki Minaj.
No.
No, okay. Ed Sheeran.
Gotta be. There's no way he's not on here.
Maybe a little early for Ed Sheeran.
Maybe,
I don't know.
I
Maybe
guess
a little
not
early
on
for
here.
Ed Sheeran. Was One Direction still a thing then? Or did they disband already? One Direction?
Yeah, they're not on.
They're
here.
not on here. Okay. Man, 2016 musical.
There's just a ton you're missing.
Just a lot of rappers, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Some.
yeah.
Like, I don't think Kid Cudi was all that, right? Like,
No.
trying to go back to, like, the Cavs and all the songs I heard. MGK?
No.
Really?
You're missing some really popular ones that you know that you
All
would
right, go
slap
ahead. Go
yourself
ahead.
for. Well, so Adele was one.
Oh, yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Drake, Future.
Oh, yeah.
Coldplay. Selena Gomez. Halsey.
Ah,
Bruno Mars. Shawn Mendes. Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And then for some reason, number 17, Bruce Springsteen.
He doesn't die, man. He's on top of that, man. I don't have to tell you. What a time.
What a time,
What a
man.
time, man. That was fun. I always love going back and doing that kind of stuff. 8 years ago, Cavs got it done. All right, let's come on back. Let's catch our break. We'll get to our morning update. I've got time op to get to. We'll get to our boost with Tipico. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Tipico is where you got to go, folks. Bet the over. I'm taking the under tonight, I think, for the guards. I just got a feeling. I don't know. Folks, Tipico is where it's at. I know NHL continues on. I lost last night, man. I thought the Panthers were going to close it out. But nonetheless, the odds still out there. Everything going on for you with Tipico, and they still have a great promotion running that we can help out new customers. Let's call it for what it is. Let's be honest. I'm going to shoot straight here. You maybe have used up all your bonus bets on all your other apps, right? And I know people have multiple ones. Nothing wrong with that. Have you added Tipico to the rotation yet? If not, the deal still goes on. For new customers, when you sign up, put the promo code Fontana150, Fontana 150 in. You deposit $150, which I know is a lot. That's a lot of money. I understand that. But you will get 2 $75 protected bets. What that means is you take that money, you bet it. It wins, you win that money back, you win your winnings, you got your bankroll. If you don't, that's protected bets. The money is back in, and you can use those on future bets to try to build your bankroll up. It's that great. And then you're also off to the races for cashback rewards. Ryan, with that, would you not already be 3/4 of the way to your cashback rewards with those bets? There you go.
Good math.
That's it. I can do that. It's easy for me. Typico code Fontana150. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Typico, I love betting on there. The interface is great, and the boosts. The boost is where they really are separated. They have the best cashback reward system in the industry. Cashback's great. The boosts are great. We love Typico. Get signed up with them today using that code Fontana150. All right, a lot coming up in hour 2. We'll get back to the grid. Time up. Morning update. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typico Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Our morning update to get to. Do you see they're going to shut down parts of Cleveland to shoot Superman this week?
Yeah, I saw the.
Hey, did you see them over there in Muni?
I saw a tweet about.
They shut down Headlands Beach for a little bit.
Gosh, what's the damn? The Daily. No, that's Spider-Man.
Daily
Planet.
The Daily Planet.
That's Superman, right?
Yeah. The Daily Bugle
is Spider-Man.
Is Spider-Man. Yeah. So yeah, I saw that picture. They're already shutting down Cleveland. I love that stuff because you want to know what? When you watch the Avengers, the first one, aren't you always like, ah? Like I know that spot. Ah.
In Avengers?
The first Avengers.
What part?
All of it. So, first off...
When I was filming Cleveland?
You've seen Avengers.
So, like, the battle in New York is in Cleveland?
Yes!
I didn't know that.
What do you mean?
I never knew that. That's sick.
Okay. Oh, my God. There's so many scenes. So do you know the scene that Loki...
I got to go back and watch that.
What do you mean? The one that I can't believe you don't know. Do you know the scene where Loki is standing above all the rest and Captain America shows up?
Yeah, when he has this, he's with the sword or the staff, he makes them all like bow to him.
That's public square. That's the front of the Renaissance.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
I have to go back and watch
the casino.
now. That just blew my mind.
Then the battle scene. You know the one where it's the long alley? That's running up to City Hall.
Wow.
And then there's other ones when the cops are on the street and the stuff blows up. It's the corner of Euclid and 9th.
I had no idea.
Remember when they had all the plywood up around the bank is there now, right there in the corner? They had all the scaffolding and all the wood right there. That's that scene. There's so many. I'm like, oh, that's Cleveland. Bing, bang, boom. All over the place. I can't believe you didn't know the Loki scene. You know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
He walks out. His horns come up. Iron Man plays, and he comes flying in.
Yeah.
Public square, man. Public square.
I never knew that.
Then, in Fast and the Furious, the scene that they pushed all the cars. I can't remember which one it was. The one where all the cars came flying out of the parking garage. They filmed that here because I was walking to work one morning. Bro, I saw 3 straight semi-trucks with flatbeds with just smushed cars all over them. They took over Muni Lot like they're doing right now for Superman. There was just an entire section of Muni Lot just filled of wrecked cars from them shooting Fast and Furious here.
Sweet.
Yeah, and now Cleveland is here. Rightly so. We're the birthplace of Superman, and they're going to shoot it here. So just a part of a little update for everybody is that they're going to be shutting down some streets downtown. I love that stuff, man. I think it's really cool.
All right, well, we'll get started with the morning update. The Guardians do fall in their first game against the Mariners in a 3-game series. Tristan McKenzie only goes 2 1/3 innings as he gets the loss. They look to bounce back. 6:40 first pitch tonight. Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guards going against Brian Wu, who has 3-0 record and 1.07 ERA.
You know, he's been tough, man, and we sent our boost and we'll get to it. These games are pissing me off. And I know you're a better team than that. I know the Mariners are a really good team. And I shouldn't get all wrapped up in this one game. You still have a 4.5 game lead. Bro, here come the freaking Twins, though. 6-game win streak, 8-2 in their last 10, and now they're 4.5 back.
They got chill out.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Because do you want to know what my fear is coming in? That the Guardians actually woke up and realized where they were at and what they were doing. Sometimes with young teams, the best thing that you could do is tell them just keep playing. Don't look at the standings. Don't worry about where we're at. But I think the Guardians started smelling themselves a little bit. And the issues come back to the pitching. The bats are finding their way. I know Jimenez is down bad right now. But the thing is, you should have won that game. If you'd got a little bit better of a starting pitching effort, and again, I say effort because I know it's not an effort thing with Tristan McKenzie. He's trying really hard. It's just something's off right now. So, dude, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting a little nervous about where the Guardians are at right now. You get a win tonight, ease my issues, and we'll be just fine. Go get it tonight, Bybee. This is one of those games, too. You want Tanner Bybee to step up and be that ace that you are. He needs to step on that mound tonight and go, I'm not losing this game. I'm not losing this game. Be aggressive, get after it, and we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, well, the Cavs still are yet to name their next head coach. Replace JB Bickerstaff. And in breaking news this morning, the Detroit Pistons are parting ways with Monty Williams, although they still owe him a whopping $65 million, according to Woj. This was a move by the ownership to get Monty out of Detroit.
Go check our Twitter question, please, Ryan. We asked, who would you rather have, James Borrego or Monty Williams?
Right now,
you were shocked.
If Monty was winning, now he's still winning a little bit, 50-49, 50.6 to 49. Monty Williams got the edge.
That's insane. I mean, you go with, okay, let's just look at the two right now. Both have been head coaches before. Scratch that off. Monty Williams has won 2 NBA Coach of the Year awards. James Borrego has not. Monty Williams, much more playoff experience, much more star player experience. I could see how you could lean Monty Williams. I could. Offensive-minded, James Borrego, Monty Williams. I mean, they're going to have a decision to make. They're going to have a decision to make. I think you at least call Monty Williams. And Monty Williams might hang the phone up and go, no, I'm just taking this year off, man. I'm going to get all this money. I appreciate the phone call. Monty Williams knows that he will be sought after this season. And if I'm him, I would just be like, you know what, man? I'm good. That's... If you're able to do that and take a year off, especially last year after his wife's cancer diagnosis, I think some time off wouldn't hurt Monty Williams. It wouldn't. I'll tell you this. I think it is more likely that he just takes the year off than he takes the Cavs job. I really do feel that.
I would.
Yeah, I would too.
All right, well, Matt, the state of Kansas is making a serious run at becoming the new home for the Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals. Bipartisan legislative supermajorities okayed the measure to authorize state bonds to help finance new stadiums and practice facilities for both teams that are in Kansas City.
So from my limited geographical knowledge here,
on the border of Missouri.
They are very close. It's not like you're moving them across the country. You're moving them within a few miles, right?
I believe right across the border.
Kansas City obviously is. Where would they still keep them? They just want to move them over to Topeka, maybe? I don't know. But this is okay. So this is where you're at. You now have pressure on the city of Kansas City and Missouri, who have already said no. They've already shot down this legislature to try. So this is what you need. The Royals need a brand new stadium. The Chiefs need upgrades to Arrowhead. And I'm sure, and it's a little comparison to the Browns, where nothing actually gets done until there's a threat of something else. Because Kansas City was sitting there saying, well, else are you going to go? Well, now here comes Kansas, the state. And they said, we'll give you the money. And they would reportedly give them a brand new practice facility, too. That'll get things spurred and going there with Kansas City to try to do something. I still don't think they're going to leave. I don't. But nothing really gets done until there's pressure. There's a threat of another team leaving. But again, this isn't something like you're ripping away the Rams. You're not moving the Vegas Raiders here. You're talking about a couple of miles, it sounds like. And you know what? And maybe Kansas City says, that's fine. Our fans will still be able to go over there. I just do not understand. And this goes for Cleveland too, man. If you're a major city, how you lose your teams. Because, again, big examples of the Raiders. They were always going. There was no stopping that. The A's were going because their attendance was atrocious. I don't think they're having problems pulling people in there right now for certainly the Chiefs, and now the Royals are an up-and-comer, all right? The commerce, the taxes, the optics, I don't know how you lose a team. And that goes back to Mayor Bibb. Running red lights and not. Sorry, that was unfair. That was unfair. I just think of that scene in Superbad where they're driving and they just flip the lights on and run a red light. I'm glad he's okay. I don't know how you lose a team. I don't know how you and again, you could do everything that you try and you get this and that and they still leave, but I just don't know how you come to the table and say, yeah, go ahead and leave. That ain't happening. So I think they're going to stay. I think they're going to stay in Kansas City, and I'd like the Browns to stay downtown Cleveland.
All right, blame the public education system for me asking you this question.
I'm a public kid too, so.
Explain to me, Matt, how would that work?
College.
What are state bonds?
So a bond is that you give them money right now, and you cash the bond in 25 years.
Same thing as a war bond.
The same thing as a war bond. The war, we need money right now to go fight the Nazis. Give us money now, and in 25 or 30 years, this bond will, what they call, mature. And it will be worth. So if you give them $100, you get to go cash it in for $120. You're not getting rich. I guess you maybe could if you bought enough. You're not getting rich off of that. That is meant as like
something to do with disposable.
I want to help, right now with this, and I'll get that money back. And then what the city, or at that point the U.S. government said, we're not going to be in this hell in 10 years, 15, 25 years. We will get our money back. Because some of parts of the economy is you got to send enough money to pay those bonds back. A lot of things going on. It's not so much bonds, but like they're running out of Social Security money, right? Like, what are we going to do about Social Security? We all pay into it. Where is it going to be in 30 years for me, right? Dude.
So could Cleveland do
I don't want to
this?
think about that.
Could Cleveland do this?
They did a lot of that. Yeah, they did it back. I mean, their version of that was the sin tax. And the sin tax is like, dude, that's pennies of what they need. It's a tax that they put on the alcohol and the tobacco. What I don't understand is why none of that was factored into the sports gambling. We're 9, and again, I'm not trying to knock the education. I'm all for the money going to education.
Clearly, because I don't know the state.
98% of the money that they make off sports betting goes to education. 2% goes to gambling awareness, addiction awareness. They can't carve out a little piece. I don't know. You'd have to pass it back through the state legislature because you're changing the bill. A whole bunch of hoops to jump through. But yeah, a bond would be, we need this money right now. Give us this money, and in 25 years, you can. You hear that a lot with grandparents that buy a 25-year bond for their kids, for their grandkids, as a gift, where it's like you buy it for their 6th birthday, and then they can cash it. And again, very rarely are you getting uber rich off of that. You know, you get a $100 bond, it might be worth $200 in a couple in 20-odd some years. So yeah, they could do the bond. I mean, it's again, where are you coming up with the public money? For again, public school here, kid here. But a lot of times it's one of the things. Number one, you're already setting money aside. It's like saving for retirement. We're going to slice off and shave off a little of this money as we go. We're going to set it off to this side. Sometimes you put it in a high yield account, and we'll cash in that later. Number two, they go to some sort of tax, a hotel tax, which is a thing here in Cleveland already. The sin tax. You create some brand new tax, whatever it might be. Or number three, you go to the bonds. Well, I guess number four would be completely privately funded, and we know that's kind of off the table right now with where the Haslam's are at. So there's a lot of ways, and again, it's like money getting thrown around. One of the things that is a sad state, but it's one of my favorite little factoids. Ryan, do you know in this world, on this earth, of all of the debt that every single person has, corporations, medical, student loans, credit cards, there isn't even enough circulating currency to erase all the debt in this world.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine if Jeff Bezos came out and gave you'd be sitting there and be like, well, my debt would be taken care of. There is not enough circulated currency in this world to erase all of the world's debt. I mean, bro, what is the United States? Are we trillions into debt?
Yeah.
It never gets called.
Every day I pass the billboard that
says,
yeah,
on 77. Yeah, it just keeps ticking up. And the whole thing is like they pass, and again, I don't know much of anything, but they pass these measures just to stave it off or just to say, like, we'll pay this back eventually. Ain't nobody ever going to get made whole. Ain't nobody ever get made whole. But it is what it is. They got to figure this out, though. And again, I think you watch Jacksonville, you watch what's going on in Chicago, you can watch what's going on in Kansas. Because the other thing, you know, one of the most interesting thing for me Kansas City-wise is this. What does that renovation in Arrowhead look like? And I know that people really are jumping on the renovation of Cleveland Browns Stadium is lipstick on a pig. That place is just beaten down. You're on the lake. Things age a lot faster on the lake. The wind, the rain, it just breaks down faster. It rusts. You got to paint, all that other kind of crap. I get it. So that's another thing about moving it off the lake, getting it to Brook Park. Kansas City, what would that reno look like? Is that something that you would see what they're going to do and say, you know what, that actually does suffice what we need? Because the other thing, do you just renovate that place to be back in the same hellhole in 12 years? It's falling apart again. What are you going to do? This is why people, like, when I don't say argue with people, but when I go back and forth with people on this, I'm not anti-new stadium. I want a new stadium. I just want it downtown. And that's the impossible ask because they can't find a place to put it. I want a new stadium. There's nothing about me that is like grabbing and holding on to Cleveland Browns Stadium for all the great memories that I have there. I have some. I got bad memories too. But I'm fine with a brand new stadium. I just want it downtown. Find a way to get that done. It should be that easy, right?
All right, lastly here for the morning update, the PGA Tour has created a special sponsor exemption for Tiger Woods.
I'm glad.
And
Good.
Tiger Woods alone based on his, quote, exceptional lifetime achievement. The sponsor exemption would be available for Woods to compete in the 8 signature events, which feature limited fields, increased prize money, and FedEx Cup points.
My dad gets so angry. He's a giant golf fan like I am. And he always texts me, he goes, why are they showing Tiger? He's 6 over. And I go, Dad, it's Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? Like, my dad wants to watch the best guys competing. That's smart from a TV revenue standpoint, and you just pray he makes the cut. But it's also an honoring of the player that, whether or not it's Jack or him is the greatest of all time, there's a case to be made that no one has ever meant as much to their sport as Tiger has meant to golf. Yeah, LeBron was great for basketball. Tom Brady was great for football. There is no singular, maybe Messi, maybe, there has been no person to ever walk this earth, in my opinion, that meant more to their sport than Tiger did to golf. So that is a little bit of that. And I think, would they have done that for Phil and not he left? Maybe. And I think they opened that up. Like, in 20 years, give it to Scott. I'll give it to Scotty Scheffler. Like, you do these legendary things, you want to get rewarded. And I think that's also great for Tiger because we know we're not going to see him 15 times a year. You're going to be lucky to see him play in 5 events. The majors, maybe a signature event here and there. And I think that's just like a, show up when you can, man. Get healthy. Come on back. Will we ever see Tiger win again? I hope so. I still have hope. I think it's only coming at one place, though. It's only one place. I think his only shot is to win at Augusta again. That's it.
How many events do you think Tiger Woods has won on the PGA Tour?
82.
Oh, you knew that?
Yes,
wow.
Because he's one behind Sam Snead, is he not?
I'm asking the wrong person.
I think 83. Most PGA Tour wins. I think it's Sam Snead.
I've never even heard of Sam Snead.
Oh, back in the day. Most PGA Tour wins. Not majors. He's obviously behind Jack.
Yeah.
Sam Snead. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're tied with 82. That's right. Tiger at the Masters tied him. So he ain't ever catching Jack on the majors. He needs 3 more of those. Yeah. That's not happening. But if he could get 1 more to pass Sam Snead, I think that would be something that's pretty impressive. But I hope to get, I think Tiger has a chance to win Augusta again. I really do. Yeah. I mean, it ain't going to be at the U.S. Open. The British Open, maybe, I don't think the PGA, it's got to be a course like Augusta that he knows. But the thing with Augusta, that is a hard walk. It's not an easy walk. And will his leg ever get back to where it needs to be? Think about that.
Can we get an exceptional lifetime golf cart?
He said he would never take one. He said that. People asked Tiger because he could technically apply for the waiver. God, who was the golfer? He was the head coach at Oregon, Casey something. And he had a congenital leg issue. And he sued under the ADA to get a cart, and they gave it to him. Tiger said he would take one on the Champions Tour. Because like John Daly does, and I know John Daly used his exception to get, the PGA and all that kind of stuff. Tiger said he would never take a golf cart on the tour, on the PGA Tour. He said he'd do it on the Champions Tour. He said he would never do it on the PGA, though. That's him respecting the game.
Yeah.
He goes, if everybody else got to walk this, I do too. I hope he gets back. I'd like to see it. All right, back at it. I don't like the Browns on a week that we already screwed up. It would have been nice to have them in a week that counted. Yeah. So again, our giveaway still goes on at Matt Fontana Show. Go and retweet our tweet. Which you just got to scroll down a little to find it. And then reply with your favorite NFL player of all time. And we will be giving away on Friday, announcing our merch giveaway package. We got the Quan t-shirt in there, a couple other things. So go retweet that because we aced it last week. 5 for 5 every day. We missed on Monday. We missed yesterday. Let's get back on the horse today. Ryan, of course, player for each team. We got the Browns, 10,000 career passing yards. Oh, I still got yesterday's going. Go!
All right. Phillip Rivers?
Yep.
Herbert's probably there, honestly.
10,000. I don't know about that, but.
How did I spell Phillip wrong?
I don't know. It's only 1 L in Phillip. I can't see you.
Is that how normal people spell Phillip?
No, I think you have 2 or 1, but I think Phillip Rivers only has 1. Yeah, well. You put Bernie in there if you want, but they just had to have played for the Browns, so you could do. Does he have 10,000?
There's no
Okay,
way
Baker.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Tom Brady works. All right, Browns, Eagles, Jeff Garcia. Josh Gordon. All right. Eagles, Chargers. Eagles, Chargers. Wait a minute.
Tyrod Taylor played for the Eagles? No, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
Why are you going, wait a minute?
Because there's somebody that, is it it's Darren Sproles. That's why. Duh. You know those ones that you're like you just see the two teams, you're like, there is a very easy connection here, and I'm not making it. Darren Sproles is the answer. All right, Chargers, Seahawks. Doesn't Geno Smith work that?
On the Chargers?
Wasn't it something that like, the team that drafted him, wasn't he drafted by the Chargers? Am I misremembering that?
I thought he was drafted by the
Giants. He played there. The Jets. Oh, you're right. He was drafted by the Jets. So that might not work. So hold that one off for a second. We'll get back to that one. Eagles, Bucks. I'm trying to think. There wasn't any players from the Bucks championship team that they like scabbed over there from the Eagles. Isn't there? Not C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Oh my God! Is there not a secondary guy that I'm missing there? Eagles, Bucks.
And James Bradbury?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think, but I don't think that's it. Holy cow, man.
Deshaun Jackson.
Okay, that works. That's not what I was thinking, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Go back. Remind me to bring that one up because there's somebody else that's itching on me on that one. Seahawks, Bucks. Richard Sherman didn't go to Tampa, did he?
No, he went to San Fran.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, right. You're right. Different color scheme. Seahawks, Bucks. Okay, Leonard Fournette never played in Seattle. Marshawn Lynch never went to Tampa. Bobby Wagner, no. Cliff Averill? Remember him? Defensive end for the Seahawks? Don't think so. I want to say Brad Johnson, and I feel like semi-confident about Brad Johnson on that. Won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I feel like might have gone to Seattle.
Who?
Brad Johnson?
I don't know who that is.
He and Dilfer are always the examples. Oh! Doesn't Trent Dilfer work there?
Again, I don't know.
Hasselbeck?
Again, I don't know.
Options there, but I can't.
Oh.
What?
No.
What?
Doug Martin, did he play for the Seahawks? No.
It sounds right.
He played for the Bucks. He played
We
for the
brought him up
Raiders.
the last time the Bucks were on, and it screwed us up. But we already lost this week, so I'm gonna rip through some of these. You want to look Doug Martin up? The muscle hamster? No, he went to the Raiders.
Yeah, I knew that.
We should probably just strike Doug Martin. Like, here's another thing we need to start doing on the grid. Ixnaying guys. Like, I'm going to tell, don't ever bring him up again because he only played for the Raiders for 1 year. That's too niche.
Was Percy Harvin ever on the Buccaneers?
That's a damn good question, too. I don't know.
Doug Baldwin?
Baldwin, also another good one. Huh. Charlie Whitehurst? I might rip that one. Yeah, Brad Johnson never played for Seattle. Okay. You want to check YouTube? We can check it. Our parameters are off for the week because we already screwed up.
Oh, he says Richard Sherman, Bucks Seahawks.
I wondered about that.
Richard Sherman played for the Bucks?
I think maybe he did. Like, didn't he go there?
It says for Seahawks, Chargers, Russell Okung.
Oh, that's a really good pull. Yes, that's a really good one there. Thank you. Yeah. All right, rip out. There we go. Russell Okung. Did you see him, by the way, after his career? He did a 40-day water fast. For 40 days, all he did was drink water. He lost 200 pounds.
200, wow.
Because, I mean, I would say, well, maybe not 200. But, like, go Google Russell Okung. Did you do Sherman?
I'm about to. When did he play for the Bucks?
I think I remember that, too. I remember that.
I guess he did. We got it.
Yeah, I remember. Go down. I want to see Bucks. Go most popular. Okay, go ahead.
Richard Sherman was
most popular.
Okay. Phillip Rivers, Geno Smith, Darren Sproles, Jeff Garcia, Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, Jadeveon Clowney, yeah.
Bernie Kosar for the Browns, Tom Brady, Richard Sherman, Deshaun Jackson.
Who's the most popular Eagles-Browns?
Jeff Garcia.
Oh, it was Jeff Garcia. Okay. Go back up. Go Bucks. Eagles. Bucks, Eagles. Bottom left. Yep.
LaShawn McCoy, Jeremiah Trotter, and Dominican Sue.
Go to
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown.
Blunt.
Yeah. Oh, that might have been. No, but I swear to God, there was a defensive back for some reason. Nothing?
Nothing I recognize.
Okay.
Julio Jones. That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. That is funny. Russell Okung. I want to look this up. Weight loss. He lost. An ex-offensive lineman lost another 50 pounds on a 40-day water diet after losing nearly 100 pounds back in April. He posted a picture continuing on his transformation and a long-term journey here. The long-term water fasting is one of the best yet hardest things that I've ever done. So he lost a total of 150 pounds. He was listed at 310 pounds in his final season with the Panthers. Pro Football Talk estimated Okung's weight loss to be around 170 pounds. No. He lost 220 pounds. He went from 310 to 170 pounds at 6'5". He said, according to Lyman, simply getting out of bed was hard. Going through his career, all that kind of stuff, he said he really wanted to lose the weight. His diet consisted of 6 water bottles a day. That was it. Over 40 days. Now, obviously, that's dangerous if you don't have, he was 310 pounds. He had plenty of, to lose there. But 40 days of nothing but 6 water bottles a day.
That is pretty damn nice.
Isn't that crazy? Is that not crazy? To lose that weight? I know Dana White did a couple of day one, and he showed off all of his things and stuff like that.
Should we do that?
I'm semi-interested.
Yeah.
I've been back in the gym, kids mostly.
I need to lose 10 more pounds.
Oh, you could do that with just a water fast.
Yeah.
You have 10 pounds of just crap in your gut, that people flush out. You do really the thing to do is not even a fast. What you want to do is a cleanse.
Yeah.
Where you only drink these certain juices. And I don't want to get too graphic or anything. I haven't done them, but my wife's done a lot of research on them. You will see the parasites. Again, you have a parasite. I have a parasite. If you're a human being with a beating heart and you've eaten anything ever, there's a good chance you have a parasite. Her friend did one. She goes, you look in the toilet, you see them.
Ew.
You see them.
Ew.
These worm parasites in there.
Ew.
And you think about that. You're walking around with those in your gut right now. So I wouldn't even say do a water fast. Try a cleanse and see how that does for you. We're not going to do that live on the air, though. That'd be a bad idea. You know what we're going to do live on the air, though, right now? You want to do a little time up, skip our last break? Let's get to it.
Yeah, you want to
Let's do it. All right, let's jump into it. There's no bigger one than 2016, but we'll get to a couple other things, too. This day, 2019, Darius Garland had a private workout with the New York Knicks. Now, again, they were sitting at 4. Cavs took him at 5. Who'd they take ahead of him?
Was that Barrett?
RJ Barrett is correct. And I tweeted this day 2019 that he was working out. I go, all right, that means good that we'll get RJ Barrett. You picked the right guy. You picked the better guy there in Darius Garland in 2019. Of course, 2016, Cleveland! Jason Tatum's so cringe, man, on his, but it's so bad. We win the title. We went through the history.
Doubling down on cringy stuff, too.
Who?
Jason Tatum.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of, he's out there a little bit. 2016, the memories, the block, the shot, the stop, the party, the cash in the ceiling. The best, man. The best. And we'll always have that. You never take that away from us. We won the one. We're off that horrible list of the longest droughts and all that kind of stuff. I thank LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love and Ty Lue and J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, all of them. All of them. You win the title this day, 2016.
Can you pull up that Game 7 box score?
Yeah, you want to do it? My fingers are literally sticking to my keyboard right now. All right, 93-89 was the score. LeBron, 27. Kyrie, 26. JR had 12. 9 each from Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love. Richard Jefferson, 2. Mo Williams, 2. Iman Shumpert, 6.
God, Mo Williams.
Deli, Channing Frye, Dante Jones, James Jones, and Timofey Mozgov all did not play in this game. For the Warriors, 32 from Draymond Green, 17 from Steph, 14 from Klay Thompson. Harrison Barnes had 10. Festus Ezeli went scoreless. Off the bench, Sean Livingston 8. Iguodala 4.
Maurice Spates
0 for 2, no points. Leandro Barbosa had 3, and
Barnes.
old friend Anderson Varejao had 1 point. Harrison Barnes started. He had 10.
Oh, yeah.
He had 10. Ian Clark, James Michael McAdoo, and Brandon Rush all didn't play in that game for the Warriors. We take them down, baby. This day, 2016. This day, 1978, Garfield the cat first appeared in a comic book strip. Odie, isn't that the dog? He loves lasagna.
What?
Garfield.
Garfield loves lasagna.
Yeah, Garfield loves lasagna.
Is
But he
it
had
Odie or Otis?
I thought it was Odie the
I
dog.
think you're right. I think it is Odie. Yeah.
Odie the
And
dog.
hates Mondays?
Yeah, Garfield. Old school comic book strips. Well, that's a good bracket, though, your favorite old school one. The Dilbert and none of them? Nothing?
I'm too old. Or too young.
Well, I mean, they're still in the, like, you still go buy the
Yeah, the
plain
Peanuts.
dealer. They're still in there. Peanuts and all that, yeah.
Marmaduke.
That's a
Dilbert.
good, I said Dilbert. That's a good one there, too. This day, 1943, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers merged to form one team. The problem is they wouldn't even make it to December before it was dissolved, and the two teams went back to playing in their own right. This day, 1910, the first ever Father's Day was celebrated in Spokane, Washington. I like it. It's a good holiday for me. Obviously, this is a very important one today on June 19th, because this day, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger and his troops walked into I can't remember this, it was in Texas, and officially declared that all slaves were free. That is why today is Juneteenth, a federal holiday. This day, 1865, it all started. This day, 1778, George Washington and his troops finally left their winter encampment at Valley Forge. So I think we all remember it in school about how bad that was. Everybody was dying. They didn't have enough food, all that stuff.
Shane Gillis ruined George Washington.
Oh, that bit is hilarious. Get on the boat. We got to kill his... That scene, that bit, and then into his Uncle Danny, hilarious. Just hilarious. Then, he gets into the thing of, like, if you start getting really into the Revolutionary War or war history, it's coming, and that launched Shane
Early
Gillis.
onset Republicans?
Yes, that's it, yeah. That launched Shane Gillis into where he's at today. But yes, the George Washington one is very, very funny. A very happy birthday goes out to Lou Gehrig, former Cavalier, Anthony Parker, Dirk Nowitzki, Jason White, Heisman Trophy winner, Macklemore, Zoe Saldana, Ann Wilson, Paula Abdul, and the great Mr. Paul Dano. Riddler is great.
Prisoners? Him in Prisoners is good.
No Country for Mine. There Will Be Blood. He plays the twins. Oh, my God.
I haven't seen it.
Oh! Daniel Day-Lewis, who, for my money, and obviously the most Academy Awards ever, I drink your milkshake. So the backstory is that Daniel Day-Lewis plays, what's his name?
Eli Sunday?
Eli! Oh, no, that's Paul Dano. That's Paul Dano. He plays the twin. Who is Daniel Day-Lewis in that?
Daniel Plainview.
That's it. Daniel Plainview. So the story goes, he's got a son that's deaf. He's out there looking for oil. And then Paul Dano plays a set of twins. And one of them is like a religious figure that Daniel ends up screwing over at the end. I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but there's an epic scene in a bowling alley in his house. There Will Be Blood. Oh, dude, great flick. But then also, Paul Dano was in Little Miss Sunshine. He was the older brother in Little Miss Sunshine, which is another great movie. It still holds up to this day. But he plays the Riddler. I'm excited about that. I've gotten some Batman news. Like, apparently Matt Reeves isn't done with the script yet. Yeah. So I still have time to make my pitch to Matt Reeves about what I want in this movie.
Which would be what?
I'm fine with the Clayface rumors. I like the Joker in that Hannibal Lecter role.
Yeah.
The Court of Owls, I don't know if people will be able to grab into that. Basically, the Court of Owls is like the Illuminati of Gotham City, and they run everything and behind the scenes. I don't know if I quite need that. I want some Mr. Freeze, man.
In fact, I said it's the perfect time with everything underwater.
Right. Now, that comic arc of No Man's Land, that's what it's called, about when Gotham City gets wrecked. Bane eventually can become a part of that, too. But at the end of the day, you've got the Joker and the Riddler. And this is really getting into the weeds. There's a comic book arc called The War of Jokes and Riddles. It just came out like 2015, 2016. Could you imagine? I'll give you a quick premise. The Joker wants to kill Batman. The Riddler wants to kill Batman. They get angry at one another to say, no, you don't get to do it. I get to kill him. And they form teams. Joker has Two-Face and Mr. Freeze and Man-Bat. And then Riddler has Deadshot and all these other guys. And could you imagine them fighting? It's almost like the Avengers. You get two different sides of them and they fight. Batman stuck in the middle. Great.
I'd love
it.
I want the Jason Todd getting kidnapped by Joker.
Well, we were promised that. That is one of the things that to no end pisses me off about Zack Snyder's, where it was in the first trailer that you get Jason Todd's Robin uniform, which tells you two things. That the Joker exists, and so does Jason Todd, which if Jason Todd exists, that means Dick Grayson should exist. Didn't even touch it.
No Nightwing, no Red Hood.
You won't get that in this, though. Robert Pattinson's too young.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not getting that. He's too young for this whole thing, so we'll see. All right, to our movies we go. First up, a film that came out this day, 2015. Your first hint is the sequel is actually going to be released. And I'm sorry, it was just released last week.
Just released last week.
Yeah, I've seen all the promos for it. 2015 American animated film by Pixar, a coming-of-age film. It follows the inner workings of a young girl named Riley, who adapts to her family's relocation as 5 personified emotions.
Inside Out.
Register her thoughts and actions. Inside Out is correct. Amy Poehler, Richard Kind, Bill Hader, Louis Black, Mindy Kaling, and Phyllis Smith all do joy, happiness, bing bong, fear, anger, and disgust. Those are all the ones. So Inside Out is correct. Then we go back to a film that came out this day, 1992. This is a sequel that was set at Christmas time, but released in June, because the majority of the movies of this certain character have been released in the month of June.
Home Alone?
No.
What year?
1992.
Takes place.
It is set at Christmas. The director of this film was also the director of the first one. After this movie, he went to go make another pseudo-Christmas-style movie.
Tim Burton? A Nightmare Before Christmas?
Correct. This movie was what, though, in 1992? If it was a sequel...
Nightmare After Christmas?
No, wrong tree. You're barking on the wrong tree.
Oh.
What other movie did Tim Burton most famously make?
Why are you pointing at yourself?
Me?
Batman? This is the one with the shitty one with the penguin.
I wouldn't say bad, but yes, Batman Returns.
Shitty one with the penguin.
I have people that'll come fight you if you say that. Batman Returns.
The shitty one with the penguin.
Yeah, the one with the penguin and Catwoman. Yeah. Catwoman. Yeah, that's it. It's not. I've learned to love it over the years.
Catwoman?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
A
lot of great insight on that. She really wanted to play Vicky Vale in the first one, and she didn't, so they gave it to her in this one. There's something else about Michelle Pfeiffer. There was like a story about her getting it, because I think her and Michael Keaton were actually dating at the time, or something like that. There's another backstory. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yes. There's a famous scene of her with the whip where she has to, Catwoman has a whip, and she whips the heads off all the mannequins. She did it in one take. There's a behind-the-scenes video. As soon as she's done, everybody stands up and starts clapping for her because she got it. Danny DeVito's the Penguin.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, I got a little factoid on that. Well, you wouldn't really get it. You know Burgess Meredith? He played Mickey in all the Rocky movies. He played the Penguin in the Adam West, like 1966 Batman. They were going to bring him back to play the father of the Penguin. The movie opens with the Penguin getting thrown into the sewer by his parents. So he's a deformed kid. They kept him in a cage, and they just throw him in a sewer. And that's how he grows up to become the Penguin. They were going to have Burgess Meredith play the father. He was too ill, so they gave it to Paul Rubens. And he played the dad in that one. Little factoid on that one. Good one on that. So, yes, Batman Returns. All right, Ryan, let's get to it. We had a tie earlier today. Has it been broken?
It has.
The best golf course in Northeast Ohio. Groups 1 and 2. Who do we got?
Sleepy Hollow with an easy victory there in Group
right.
1. But this one was close, but the Quarry did pull away for Group 2.
All right, Groups 3 and 4, please lay them out for everybody.
Group 3, Manakiki, Greyhawk, Chippewa, Sugarbush. Group 4, Fowler's Mill, Valley of the Eagles, Legends Massillon, and Raccoon Hill.
There you go.
What are you voting?
Probably Greyhawk is really not. I might go Greyhawk. It's either Greyhawk or Manakiki.
Once again, you got to tell me what to vote for.
I'll go Greyhawk. You vote Manakiki for me.
Okay.
And then I just haven't played Chippewa and I haven't played Sugarbush. Groups 4, I've not actually ever played Fowler's Mill, which is crazy. What are the other 3?
Valley of the Eagles, Legends of Massillon, and Raccoon Hill.
I'll probably go Valley of the Eagles on that one. But Fowler's Mill, I have a good friend of mine that works there, and he never has yet taken me. You jerk. Granted, it's kind of my fault with kids. Like, I had my buddy text me today. He goes, "You want to get out for a 9 this afternoon?" I go,
I would love to.
You want to go? Jordan will go. My buddy Jordan. He's down to go. He said he's off work today, so he wanted to go. Yeah, I like doing this poll has done nothing for me except make me want to go golf even more. And it's terrible. It's just man, is it making it tough. You know, it's not tough. Guardians don't have it, I know, right? That's all right. We'll get to our boost a little bit later. Here's what it's going to be. Guardians minus a 1.5. We will take 2 hits for Quan and Jose Ramirez to go yard. We're going to post that on Tipico. Use that code Fontana150 when you sign up. You deposit $150 as a new customer. You will get 2 $75 protected bets, and you'll be off to the races for your cashback rewards. To get going for the baseball season. Football will be here before you know it. Get signed up. Get betting with our friends at Tipico. Terms and conditions apply for new customers only. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Great stuff today. Appreciate everybody that joined us. Drop a follow if you can. At Matt Fontana Show. Twitter, X, YouTube, and Twitch is where we stream live every day. And then you can always head over to our Instagram page at Matt Fontana Show. See all our reels right there. Spencer Davies going to join us tomorrow. Perfect timing. I want to talk to Spencer about everything going on with the Cavs. Everything's. Oh, there's a field trip here. I miss field trips, man. Where's your favorite field trip as a kid?
Oh gosh,
Natural History Museum
I like
is my
going to the
easy
zoo.
answer. The zoo is cool. We got to tell you. We're in this. So down here at Burke, they have the International Women's Air and Space Museum. It's free. You can come down anytime. Field trip.
We went to see a play one time, which is cool.
We did go see a play once because I feel like you need to go to like Playhouse Square and stuff. The Natural History Museum, I loved going there, man. You see the dinosaurs, you see all the stuff in there. We got to go back. We got this long list of things to do with the kids. The zoo gets cramped though. The clutch thing at the zoo, not just because it's boo at the zoo, but going to the zoo in the fall when it's a little cooler and stuff, that's where the money needs to be made. Yeah. We're going to do that again, but enjoy the field trip here, kids.
Just before we go, should we remind everyone to show us their meat?
Yes, do that, folks, with our friends at Garage Beer. Not that, the other one. Show us your meat. If you were entering this, all you got to do, follow Garage Beer, drink Garage Beer, and show them your grill while you got a Garage Beer. Did you see the cases that Dave got the other day? Where's those going? His garage is probably the answer. But all you got to do, what would you put on? Chicken, burgers, ribs, steak?
If I'm doing Garage Beer, I got to do some steaks, I think.
Some steak. I love ribs more than anything, but I never want to cook ribs.
Go get the Heineken steak.
So
buy that in the 12 pack,
part of this.
You get $2 off.
There you go. And then you're entered to win a chance for that grill with Heinen's and the Garage Beer apron.
And some big play gear.
So check that out. Easiest thing to do, Garage Beer on Twitter. Drink Garage Beer on Twitter. Follow them. You'll see that enter, and you can get your chance to win that grill, win the apron, all that kind of stuff. Man, my brother-in-law made some ribs for Father's Day. Oh, my God. I love ribs.
You know what's good ribs? Peppers.
Who?
Have you ever heard of Peppers?
No. They got good ribs.
Yeah.
I go back and forth because, like, smoked ribs with not very much sauce, I'm all for, but I will also take ribs that are just drowned in barbecue sauce, man. Oh. Steaks, obviously very good. Of all the meats, there's nothing that is different between a burner and a grill than a burger. Like a nice, thick burger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like cooking a steak, but I have a cast iron. That's okay. You drown it in your butter, put a little garlic on it. That's fine. Ribs in the oven are fine.
Everyone's getting those brownstone ones. The grills that you can just put anything on.
Blackstone.
Or Blackstone.
Blackstone, not brownstone. Blackstone.
Blackstone.
Oh, no, those are all the rage. My dad has one.
Yeah.
You know, my buddy has one too, and he does hibachi on
Yeah,
that
that's what you
motherfucker.
can do. If I was that, I'd be cooking eggs
big
on there.
hibachi. My other friend had a hibachi at home. They paid for a hibachi
Yeah, I've
guy,
seen that before.
but it was like $40 a head, man.
Yeah.
And then just go, well, flipping it up. You just drinking the sake the whole time. Man, hibachi is undefeated. But hibachi on the Blackstone sounds amazing. You know what else sounds amazing? Bruce Drennan. He'll be here tonight. Bonus time with Bruce Drennan, so follow that. Check that out. We'll get to that tonight here on Big Play. We're back tomorrow. Again, Spencer Davies is going to join us tomorrow, so we'll talk everything Cavs with him. Get geared up. Ryan?
No, they will not.
Okay, they will not have a coach tomorrow. You said that yesterday. You were right. We'll see if it happens again tomorrow. We'll talk to you on a Thursday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontaine. As always, take it easy.